Hello, good morning all. Today in this video we are going to discuss regarding how the security mechanism is working in Odoo. So we are continuing with Odoo 17 development tutorials. So the point that we will be discussing is about the security mechanism in Odoo. So mainly the security mechanism in Odoo is handled using groups, access rights and record roles. So main three things that you need to know is what is user groups, what is access rights and what is record roles. So we will be seeing all these three things inside this video. So we have got HMS application which we have created from scratch. So we will be implementing the security mechanism for the hospital management system. So in order to do that, first thing we need user groups. So you may think, what is user groups? So user groups is like a group of users who is having common feature. For example, if I say in hospital we have different user level like doctors, professors, nurses and office staff, etc., or receptionist. So all the users should not have same level of permission to the system. Or simply consider in hospital we have receptionist, then hospital admin and doctor. Just we consider we have three level of access right. One is a receptionist who can just create appointment to the system, and like those users just can control the workflow of appointment. Further, they cannot see the patient checkup details or patient medical history. Such details should not be revealed to the receptionist, but a doctor should see all the details regarding the patient, like medical history of the patient. Then hospital admin should see all the invoicing details, how much profit the hospital made. So those details we should not show to doctor or even to the receptionist. It should be linked only with the hospital admin. So this is simple use case. Like we have receptionist and there will be multiple receptionists. Like we can have shift and there will be multiple users. So we should create a group and I'll say all these users are coming to this group. So if I have XYZ who is the receptionist, I can just mention that XYZ belongs to receptionist group and Dr. ABC belongs to doctor group, and finally the hospital admins will be part of admin group. So what we have to do is, if I navigate to settings, and here under users and companies we have a menu called groups, and here if you see we will have a lot of user group. So what we have to do is that we have to create these three levels of user group for our hospital application. So here if you group by application, inside the groups, if you group by application, you can see inside sales application we have three user group, invoicing there is two. Similarly, we will create an application group called hospital, and under that we will be creating different level of user group. So let's see how this user group. So this application is called IR module category. So we will show you how we can do that. So if I navigate to Odoo source code and let me search for IR module category, and I have to search inside XML. Here you will see we can create user groups. So here you can see this is category of sales. So simply I'll copy these, and what I'll do inside our custom add-on, which is OM hospital data file, here I'll create, or inside security I can put, I'll create a file called security.xml, and inside this I'll just paste the copied code. Now I have to add the syntax for XML. I'll copy all these, add it over here, then I have to close the file. Now I will indent the file. So I have done the indentation. So what I have done is I have simply copied a record to IR module category. So using this syntax we are creating a record to IR dot module dot category, and I'll give the ideas module category hospital. Then I can give a name for that category called the hospital. Then you can give a sequence. So let it be 5 and I'm not going to change that. So simply we have created a file as follows. Now what we have to do, we have to import this file inside the manifest. So here after security, over here I'll import the newly added file security.xml, put comma. So we have imported the file, and inside the file we have defined a module category. So now if I upgrade, we will not see any changes because we don't have any option to see this, or yeah, I can show you. So let me copy this and let me upgrade the OM hospital module. So from here, for now I'll keep the no update as false, and I'll upgrade the application. So after adding the module category, we are upgrading the app. And if I jump back to groups, and if I try to create a new user group, you can see inside application hospital is getting listed, which we have created right now. If I open that, let me just take as follows. You can navigate to that category, and here if we check its external ID, view metadata, it's coming from OM hospital module. That is, we have created a record to IR module category. So that's the first step we have done. Now let me ensure hospital is empty, yeah, because we have to set it back to technical, which we have edited now. So right now there is no user group inside hospital. Now what's the next step is, we have to create few categories. So if I jump to users form view, and if you search for hospital, there is nothing listed because inside that category currently there is no user groups. That's why it's coming empty, else it will have listed over here. So now let's add a couple of user groups. So I have to create user group. So in order to create user group, we have to create a record inside rs.groups. So let me copy a sample rs.groups, and which one I can copy. Let me see for a sample. Let it be from sales application. Then here stock. Let me search for sale. Where is sales? Yeah, I could not find sales application. Don't worry, we can take any of the random one from here. Or I'll just jump back to sales application. I can navigate from here. This is sales module, and if I search for restored groups, okay, I cannot find here. Maybe in sales team module. Yeah, it will be coming from sales team module. So here we have a sample. So simply I'll copy that and I'll paste it over here. So I just copied a syntax and I'll name it as groups hospital receptionist. Group hospital receptionist. When we are creating a record to restored group, then you can give name as receptionist. Receptionist. Category, I have to specify this category, and I have to give full ID, that is OM hospital dot this category. Like I'm creating a new category, and I'm creating a new user group which has to come under this category. That's why I specified here. Then implied IDs, I'll keep this line just to only to appointments. I'll give a comment like what does this user group, I have written here like this user will have access to the appointments. So there is a typo. I think that's fine, we can ignore. So let's upgrade the app and see. So I'll do one more thing. So right now I have created a receptionist group. Now I have to create a doctors user group also. Group hospital doctors. I'll name it as doctors. Category ID same. Implied IDs I'll keep the same. Comment, this user will have access to patient details. I'll just give a comment like this. Now what we have to do is we have to go and upgrade the application. So let's upgrade the OM hospital module. So previously when we go to groups and search for hospital, there was nothing listed. Now if I search for hospital, you can see there is two user group called doctors and a receptionist. Similarly, if you jump into any of the user form and if you search for hospital, you will see a group like this. Hospital, we have doctors and a receptionist. And this is a common question which is raised by different people, why I'm getting like a multiple checkbox field. If you see here, sales is coming as a drop down, but here it's coming as a checkbox. If you think I need to get it as a checkbox, when it coming as a selection, like here all the user documents, for example in sales we have three groups: user on documents, user all documents, and administrator. So whatever permission user on documents is having, definitely it will be granted to all documents. And whatever permission, like it's a like a hierarchy, lowest hierarchy is on document, then all document, then administrator. So administrator will have all the powers of all document group as well as on document group, and user all documents groups will have the power of all document group plus on document group. That is, if I'm at the top level, I will have the access rights of my level plus my lowest level. So there is an inheritance, like a hierarchy going on. So we need to, if we need to get such a selection instead of checkbox, we have to set up the hierarchy. So I'll set this is the lowest level. Then using implied IDs, I can set the hierarchy. So in implied IDs, I'm saying the doctor is inheriting the receptionist group by using this tag implied IDs. So if you check, if you come over groups and search for hospital, if you check the doctors in the inherited, currently both the groups are inheriting internal user. So instead of inheriting internal user for the doctors, I'm saying I need to inherit the receptionist. So what I'll do is that simply I'll clear the internal user from here. Now let's upgrade and see what happens. So previously in the user form view, we are getting as a checkbox. Now after this upgrade, it will be coming as a hierarchy. So users mark demo, and let me search for hospital. You can see it's coming as this one, like what I can say, it's coming as selection. Now what else? It's accounting administration. But if you see, it's coming under other. If you think you need to create a section like this, sales, accounting, let me see how it is handled. So let me enable debug mode. Doctors, it's coming like this. Then if I search for, let me see how this, we have sales team, data, AR module category, security role, implied category, sales. Let me search for one thing. Sequence 1. So let me put same sequence for our module also. Instead of sequence 5, I'll just give sequence 1 and let's see what happens. So I'm just adjusting the sequence value, copy, and let me upgrade the application once again. So the module is getting upgraded. Module is upgraded. Now if I come back to users and documents, mark demo, and if I search for hospital, it's still coming under technical. Okay, that's fine, let's keep it there. I'll check and tell you in the later videos. So we have created user groups. So what we have done is we have created two user groups called receptionist and doctors, and we have a category called hospital. Now what we have to do, we have to add users. So for example, I'll delete the mark demo, or I'll rename the mark demo as receptionist. So I'll unselect this and I'll change the username, for example receptionist. Let the login be demo, and his credential I'm saying it's internal user, no access to sales, no access to invoicing, only in hospital he has to be a receptionist. So I have just granted the receptionist permission, and let me reset his password, change password. I think by default it's demo. So we have just reset his password. So from other tab, I'll just switch the browser tab and I'll log in to that user. So right now if he log into the system, he's able to see dashboards, discuss, and apps. So apps is coming from that module install request. I'll just uninstall an application, install request. I don't need this app to be installed in my system, so I'll just uninstall an application. So that's gone. Now in the user login, that is receptionist login, it's still showing. Okay, let me see. Install request, it's uninstalled, and what I have to do, I have to navigate to menu items, apps menu, and the group has to be, yeah, this is an bug in Odoo, I believe. Here the user group has to be settings, administration settings. So if I refresh, that is disappeared. Now if you see, we have 3 menus. Consider the scenario is fine, and if I navigate to HMS, I can see front desk and configuration. Now what happens for the user marked demo or receptionist, I just keep it empty in hospital application. Right now I'm saying for this user doesn't grant any permission inside the hospital application. Now if I refresh in that user login, he can still see HMS menu. So first thing we need to do is that if the user is not part of hospital group, we don't need to show that menu to any user. Only users who is part of hospital groups only can see this menu. Right now this menu is seen because whenever we start the development, we have in here you can see we have granted permission to base.group user. So it's time to change that. Now we have group called receptionist, so simply we have to replace it with who can read receptionist. I'm putting receptionist. So for the groups, like doctor is inheriting the receptionist, so automatically doctor will get the permission. So instead of base.group user, I'll change the permission over here. I'll change to all the permission which I have granted to receptionist. So if I, before I'm upgrading, if I come to where access rights menu, and if you search for hospital, you are seeing all the access rights is granted to internal user. Now I have changed to receptionist. Now let's upgrade and see the difference. Now I'll upgrade the application. The module is getting installed. Now if I jump back to access right, search for hospital, and you see all the access rights is changed to hospital receptionist. Previously it was internal user. Now let's switch back to receptionist login, refresh, and if you see, the menu itself has been got invisible because this is a normal internal user who doesn't have access to hospital application. That's why the menu got invisible. Now if I jump back to admin login, now I'll go to receptionist login, and I'm setting, like I'm saying, yeah, let it this user get the receptionist access. Now I'll hit on save, and if I jump back to receptionist, you will see the menu is appearing. So whenever I'm granting the access right, so whenever I tick here, currently you can see hospital receptionist. So if you duplicate this tab, and let me take the hospital groups over here, hospital and receptionist, you can see currently receptionist part of this user group. Now if I untick from here, the user will be removed from that group. So if you refresh, you can see user is removed. So either you can grant the permission from here, or you can add the users from here. I can add it from here, select save, it will be reflecting over here also. you can see hospital receptionist. So once user is part of hospital group, the menu is getting visible, so it's fine. Now let's go inside hospital. So here he can see the receptionist can see front desk as well as configuration. So let's the configuration be part of a higher level group, that is receptionist doesn't want to see the configuration menu or the tags has to be only shown for doctors. So what we have to do, we have tag model here. So either you can directly give the doctors user group over here. I'll copy like this and I can put it over here. That is, I'm saying the tag model should be granted only for doctors, not for receptionist. Now if I do so, hospital, I have changed the access right. Now what I have to do, I have to just upgrade the app. The app is upgraded, and let's come back to receptionist login. I'll refresh. You can see as I have in the URL host patient tag, I'm getting access right error. Now if I come back, you can see we are not seeing that menu, so the receptionist can see only this one. Now let's do one thing. Consider right now Mitchell admin, you can see even my login Mitchell admin cannot see the HMS application because I need to go here. This is my login. Let me be the doctor of this group, like an admin of this group. So I have added. Now if I come back and refresh, I can see HMS and my login can see configuration. But if you log in as a receptionist, you cannot see the configuration menu because under the configuration menu I have patient.tag, for which the access is only for doctors. But if you check this scenario, so we have made like this. Now if I try to create a new record, when I'm trying to access patient.tag, so this was a minute one field to patient tag. So right now we are getting an access error. You don't have access to this patient tag, but definitely the receptionist should have read access. Like whenever this is admin login, if I'm creating a patient, I should see all the tags. Like we have some employees in the reception, they will be creating new patients. So if there is an outpatient coming, we have to definitely create a record for them. So what we have to do, so right now when a receptionist is trying to create a patient and try to assign a tag, an error is coming, because if we check the models for the patient tag, the only access right is for hospital.doctors. So only the users inside that group can read, write or create a record inside this model. So what I have to do, I have to grant a receptionist the permission for read, write and create, even delete if needed. So what I'll do, I'll create a one more access right. So I'll rename like access patient tag doctors, so that we can understand this is for doctors, and the new one for access patient tag receptionist. And here you have to change the name also. I'll put doctors, then I'll copy receptionist from the ID and put in the name access patient tag receptionist. Model is same. Here I have to change the group, so my user group is receptionist. For receptionist I'm granting only read, write, create, and I'm not granting delete permission. So delete, let it be with the doctor. So what a receptionist can do is, receptionist can read, write and create, but no delete permission. But for doctor, all the permission is available. Now let's upgrade and see what happens. So I'll keep this tab over here, and from here let me upgrade the hospital management system. So the module is getting upgraded, and if I just refresh this screen and access right tab, you can see for doctors all the permission is granted, and for the receptionist we are not granting the delete permission. Now I'll jump back to the receptionist login. Let's refresh, and if you click on here, you can see we have every permission. Also the configuration is back because we granted access to this model. That's why the menu is back. Now if I try to delete, it will, you can see the delete option is not visible because we didn't give the delete permission. So he can create new tags, save, or he can edit, tag edit the records, and he can create, a receptionist can read, write and create, but no delete permission. Delete permission is not granted. So if he try to delete, he will not see the record, and in case if he try to delete forcefully, also that access right warning will be coming. But at the same time, here I have doctor login, and if doctor try to delete tag 4 without any issues, it will get deleted because for doctor we have granted the delete permission. So what we have done, we have just learned how we can assign access right based on groups. Now let's come back to previous topic. Still the configuration is appearing. We don't need to show this configuration menu for the receptionist. So what we have to do for this menu configuration, so we have created that menu inside menu.xml. So we have the configuration menu here. What we have to do, along with the menu, for menu I'll assign some user group. So if I go to menu items and if I search for configuration, here I have HMS configuration, and under the visibility we can attach user group with the menu. So from the menu definition, here I'll pass groups equal to which group. For doctor only I need to show this menu. So I'll copy the doctor's menu and set it here. I'm hospital. You have to give full ID, module name dot hospital doctors. So here I'm saying the menu has to be shown only for doctors by passing or setting groups for the menu. Now if I upgrade, you will see a change here. Now I'll go to apps menu, upgrade. So if you are doing from the user interface, you can adjust it from here. So I'm just showing technical side of this. So if I refresh, you can see hospital doctors is attached with this menu. Now if I jump back here, refresh, you will not see that configuration menu. So this is how we can set user group for the menu. Now what else we have to do? So we have learned like different user group, how to create user groups in Odoo, how to set different permission for the user groups, and how to set permission for the menu. Now what we have to do, we can introduce a new field inside the appointment created by. I'll add a new field called, or we already have a field called create UID, which is coming as default. So if I jump back to appointments model, appointments, and let me turn on the debug mode. So if we check the database, that view fields, we have a field called create UID in this model, which will give the information of who created this record. So simply what I'll do is that I'll add that field to this view after total quantity. So let me take that view, and here I have the field. So I'm adding the create user ID field to the group. Now let's upgrade. Now we will be talking about record roles in Odoo. So record roles will act as a filter to filter particular records for a user. So if I am coming to hospital, then to appointments, so here I can see this is created by 𝐿𝐴𝐷min, and now from the receptionist login, I'll create an appointment. So I'll select Sam, date 30th, hit on save, and if you refresh, you will see it's created by a receptionist. Now let's assume a case. We have multi-user system. Odoo can be accessed by different users, and in my hospital I have got two receptionist staff, receptionist 1 and receptionist 2, and there is a request like receptionist 1 should see only records which is created by that user. That is, I should see only records which I have created. Like if receptionist 2 is creating some records from different place, I don't need to see that. I should see only my created records. So we have to add record roles inside the system. So once we add record roles, we will not see those records created by Mitchell admin. Only the records I have created will be shown to me. So let's see how we can do that. So for that, we need record rules in the database. So I'll copy an existing record, ir.rule, and let me take a sample. Take a sample. Okay, I'll copy this one and I'll put it over here. I'm creating a rule to ir.rule. So if you check the database in the UI, you will see a menu called record roles. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a new rule to this model. So I'll give the name as receptionist on appointment role. I have just given a name. Model should be IR role. Receptionist, and I'll give view on records. I'll give name for the rule as view on records. And for which model I'm applying? I'm applying for model res, not res, model hospital.appointment, model hospital appointment. I need to apply record role for this model, that is appointment model hospital.appointment. So here we have to specify like model underscore hospital.appointment, global is false, and for which user group I need to specify. So I need to set this for this user group. So I'll set as I need to apply this user, that is this rule is applicable for this group of user, and in the domain force I'll set as create UID equal to user.id. I just give like this. So I have created a record rule, an ID is given, name is given, model is specified, for which user group this record rule has to be implemented. Then you have to give a domain. So I have told the record rule is used to filter the records rules on a particular criteria. And what is the criteria here? Here I have a create UID field. The field name is create UID. That is, if I jump back to appointments, and inside appointment I have a create UID. This is create UID field, create UID, and which is equal to user.id will return the ID of current user. Now let's see what happens. So before upgrading, I'll do one thing here. I'll do one thing in the appointments. I'll just edit list view, and in the list view I'll just add a create UID field for the data visibility purpose. I just add create UID field. So currently you can see these two records is created by Mitchell admin, then one is receptionist. Similarly, receptionist also can see all the records. Now let's upgrade the module and see what happens. So after adding the rule, I'm just going to upgrade my application, and once the module is upgraded, the receptionist will see only his own records. So in the admin login, that is in the doctor's login, I can see only my rule and my appointments, and from here the receptionist can see only his appointment. So receptionist is only seeing, like if you come to appointments, he can see only the record created by receptionist, and in the doctor login also I can see only the records created by the Mitchell admin. What happens? Because if you jump to model, that is appointment record rules, this is the rule we have added, receptionist view on record hospital receptionist. We given such a criteria, but if you remember initially the doctor group is inheriting the features of receptionist group. So the newly added role is also getting implied for doctor's model. So to avoid this, for example, doctor has to see all, so we have to write an extra role for the doctor group in particular. So I'll copy this doctor view, I'll write a new role, doctor view all appointment role, doctor, I'll name it as doctor view all records, same model. And here I have to change the user group to doctors, and here I'll pass an empty domain. Domain force I'm setting, there is nothing to filter, it has to be empty. Now let's upgrade and see what happens. So I'll go to the apps menu and I'll just upgrade the application. So module is getting upgraded. So previously the doctor was able to see only his appointments. Right now he can see all 3 appointments, which is created by receptionist also. But if you check the receptionist login, he or she will see only his created records. So that's the use of record rules in Odoo. So I hope these things are clear for you. So what we have learned, we have started from creating a module category. We introduced 2 groups, which is doctor and receptionist. Then we have learned access rights. Then we have learned how to set a menu for user group, how to set user group for a menu. Then we have learned the working of record roles. So for record roles, the domain and groups is the main thing. So based on the domain, given domain, the data will be filtered for that user group. So I hope this is all about the record roles in Odoo. So one more thing that you have to take care is, for example, right now if I refresh the appointment model, here created by, I don't need to show the created by to the receptionist, only the doctor has to see. By default right now my system, I'll see only my created records. Then for all the 100 records the value will be same. So there is no need to show this created by field for this login. Only doctor has to see who created this appointment. So we can do so currently the create UID. So at the view level here, along with the field, I can specify groups equal to which group of users has to see this field. So I can copy this one. I'll just copy the user group name, I'm hospital, this ID of this group, and here I'm setting groups as this one. I'm saying only this group of users has to see this field. So I have added the groups tag in form view as well as tree view along with the field definition. Now let's upgrade and see what happens. So I'll jump back to the apps menu and let me upgrade the application. So the module is getting upgraded, and now if I jump back to the receptionist login, the field has been invisible, and in the view also you will not see that. But if you log in as doctor and refresh, let me go to apps menu, appointments. Here you can see for doctor the created by field is visible in tree and form view. So for a particular field we can set the groups so that that field will be visible only for that user group. So setting like this, the problem is either you can set at XML level or at Python level. So if you set at XML level, still in the group by option, that is, let me take the receptionist login. Here in the group by option, created on or created by is visible. So if you need to remove, you can set it Python level also along with the field definition. So here I'll just take a different field. So which date I need to choose. Okay, I'll take this DOB field in the Python. I'm hospital models appointment. So here I have date of birth field. So along with that field I'm setting groups attribute as which one. I'll copy this one. Only for doctor I need to show the date of birth. So here I'm setting at Python level instead of XML level. I'm setting the group definition along with the field. Now let's see what happens. So before upgrade, so I have just restarted. Now let's complete the upgrade process. I'll jump back to apps menu and I'll upgrade the application. So the module is getting upgraded. Now let's jump back to appointments, and if you check here, DOB date field, that is DOB is visible. Now if I jump back to receptionist, the field is hidden at the view. DOB field is not visible now. And if you search group by, the DOB field is not visible over here also. But for this receptionist, DOB field is not available here. But for doctor, DOB field is visible. So if you set at view level, it will control only on that particular view. But if you set at Python level, it will control everywhere in the system. Right now you can see in group by it's removed from the receptionist login. From the group by it's removed. Then also at the view level it's get disappeared. So I hope you get a fair information about the working of security mechanism in Odoo. If you have any doubts, please let us know. Just drop a comment and we will be revert back to you. So what we have learned is groups, access right, record roles, and assigning menu to groups. So that's it for the day. If you have any doubt, please let us know, and like the video if you like it, and please refer the videos with your Odoo friends. So that's it for the day. Have a nice day. Thank you.